Ambassador Master Professor at SNS College of Technology. I would like to welcome for the another video about projection of plane surfaces, nothing but a lamina projection. So in this previous two videos, we have discussed about a pentagonal plate and circular metal thin plate, right? So in this video, we are going to discuss about how the projection of hexagonal surfaces has to be carried out, how that surface has to be drawn and how it has to be carried out in the next phase, and how it has to be drawn, right? This is how the surface has to be inclined and perpendicular. So this is one of the easiest method of how to draw the hexagonal plane has to be discussed in this class. So hope everybody will understood the basics of pentagonal plate, right, and circular plate. Now it is the turn to move on hexagonal plate. So now I like to share the solid software which is easy to draw surfaces where we can able to understand, right? So from this point, how the solid edge can be carried out, right? So the question is simplest, right? The hexagonal plate of 20 mm side rests on one of its corners on HP. So such corner is an inclined 45 degree to HP. How it has to be drawn? The basic thing, the surface has been rest on one of its corners on HP, right? So the one of its corners can be drawn like this. We can able to draw these surfaces by different, like easily by using this software, by using the predefined structures. But now I like to draw the line of the plate which is about of 20 mm side, right? So I am going to draw this 20 mm, right? So this is how 20 mm has to draw. For a clear understanding purpose, I am going to this as 40 mm, right? So for this understand purpose, so I am going to change this 40. Then this one is so 40. So the line will be some extension, right? With an angle of 0 degrees. So the straight line will be drawn. From this point, I have to draw again the 40 mm line. So at the distance of, instead of the distance between the two surfaces will be 120. So for this, I have to draw for the angle of 60, right? Similarly, I have to draw the one straight line. So for the clear understanding, but because we have to understand this similarly from this straight line, because to make the surface without an angle, right? So similarly from this point, I have to make it for an angle of 40 mm with an angle of minus 60, right? So sorry. So the line of 40 mm. So the angle of is total is 90 plus 60 will be your. Again, you have to make it 60, right? So 90 plus 30 is equal to 120 degree. So I have to draw 120 degree. Again, the line is, I have said 40 mm. So for that, I am drawn this line and make them to join here. Similarly, this line will be 40, again becomes a 40 mm. 40 mm line. Similarly, from this point, I have to draw the 40 mm line and make this as to 40 mm line and make this as to join in 120 degree. So from this, the surface has been joined, it will be a 40 degree. So I am removing the excess line. For once again, I am drawing to this from this point. This will be your 40. This is how the pentagonal prism has to be drawn. So now I am going to name this as A, this as B, this as C, this as D, this as E, this as F. Now I'm going to draw the trace line with from this point to the surface where here. Similarly from this point to this one. Similarly from this point to which is travel to this train. Similarly from this point to this one. So for clear understanding, I'm going to change this as thin lines with the low dimensional structures and with the different color sectors. So this is how the minimum trace line has to be carried. The next is line I have to draw from this point to this point with the high thickness of different color with the red color for clear understanding. For clear understanding, right now. So this will be considered into a red color. So the line has to be drawn. Now I am going to mark this as A dash. This is B dash in bracket, it will be considered as F dash. And this will be your C dash in bracket, it will be our E dash. This one is our D dash. Right. So now the question shows one of this corners with me and it is inclined at 45 degree to HP. Now I am going to consider this line right now. So I am going to copy and paste this one line and I am to paste here. From this line, I have to draw an angle of 45 degree, right? So I am going to draw like this. So the distance between these has to be carried out. So I am for the clear understanding of distance, I have to distance between the small dimension. Sorry, the distance between right on the distance between these two lines is I have to draw is 20 mm. Similarly, from these two lines is from this two line is 20 mm. So totally 60 mm has to be drawn. This is approximately 49. So I have to draw the line from this point to 20 mm right. So 20 mm I have to draw here. Similarly 40. So I have to draw here. Similarly at 20. So I have to draw 20 within 45-degree, right? So I have drawn like this. So the entire different structure of lines has been drawn. From this point, I have to trace the trace line from to top and bottom of the level. Similarly, from this point, I have to draw the trace line. Similarly, at this point, I have to draw the trace line. Similarly, from this point, I have to draw the trace lines. So these are different structures, right? And this is the lines of different trace lines. So I am, as already said, I have to change this one and to different colors. Similarly, I have to draw the trace line from this point to reaches till this one. Similarly, from this point to which travels to D to this one, from this point to this one. This is how entire structures will be carried. Again, this is a trace line, so I have to change into a low dimensional thin lines with a different colors. So this is the final setup we have can write down. So similarly, I have to make this as a dash. This is B dash in bracket. It is F dash in bracket. This is C dash in bracket E dash, and this one is D dash. So now I'm going to draw this one where A means this is A of 1, this is B of 1, and this one will be your C of 1, this one will be your D of 1, this one will be your E of 1, this one will be your F of 1, right? So again I said earlier, right? So I have to remove the excess surfaces. So like I'm using the fillet command. So for the trace lines, I am going to use this as the remover lines. So it's like a graphical view. Now I'm going to draw from this point to this one, and this point to this one, this point to this one, from this point to this one, this point to this one, and how to draw. So the final projected view will be like this. This is how the projection has to be carried out. So hope everybody is understood how the projection of plane surface has been carried out with this software. Hope everybody understood. I'd like to catch up in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you. This is signing up by Sambasum, Assistant Professor, SNS College of Technology.